Thank you so much for participating in today's study. We greatly appreciate the time and attention that you paid to being a part of our experiment. We're going to take a couple of minutes to explain the purpose of the activities that you took part in today. The experiment you participated in was designed to replicate a training simulation often used by organizations to teach their employees certain knowledge and skills that are required on the job. This procedure replicates practices commonly used in companies today. First, to give you a little background on this topic area, it would help if you understood the current trends in workplace training and development. You may have experienced training at your job. Your employer may have had you watch a video, shadow someone who is working, or perhaps go through a self-paced training program on the computer. All of these are different types of workplace training. Today, an increasing number of organizations are using game-based simulations to train their employees and develop their skills in order to help them learn relevant information about their jobs. These highly technical simulations are most commonly used in the medical industry, the military, for flight training, and law enforcement. The purpose of our study was to understand how these game-based simulation exercises lead to improvements in employees' knowledge and performance on the job. Our overall goal is to learn how we can improve game-based training simulations to make them more effective tools for learning. How our study works is we assigned participants to one of two groups. The first condition we call our experimental group, and the second condition we call our control group. Upon arrival, everyone was signed in, and regardless of which condition you were assigned to, everyone completed our computer-based training. We call this a CBT. In this CBT, you learned about the rules and goals of the game, along with different strategies for being successful. After you completed the CBT, we entered into the pre-test phase. During this pre-test phase, we gathered baseline measures of your characteristics, such as how much experience you have with playing games. You also took a test to determine what you had learned in the CBT. After that pre-test phase, the participants in the experimental group completed the simulation. The participants in our control group did not complete the simulation. At the end of our experiment, everyone entered into the post-test phase. In this phase, you retook the test to measure your knowledge of the game. We also asked you about other information concerning your experiences in the game, because we want to determine what changed for the experimental group that didn't change for our control group. Now that you understand our goals, we ask that you keep the purpose and information of our study confidential. It is very important that you do not discuss your experiences with this study or your impressions of this study with other people. By completing this study, you are accepting credit for your participation, and you are agreeing to not discuss your experiences with anyone once you've left. Screen recordings and audio recordings were taken during your performance in the simulation. In no way will your identity be tied to any of the information that was collected in this study. In closing, we appreciate your participation in this study. We also hope that you have a better understanding of how critical this research is for organizations. Our goal is to help companies who are looking to develop training programs that will effectively train their employees. If you have any questions or concerns about this study, do not be afraid to contact our researchers. Thank you again.